Huge news, NEO stock delisting risk solved. Are you fascinated by the news on NEO stock? What's the latest scoop on the stock market? Do you have any information, positive or negative, about the possible investment you'll make in the stocks that you're interested in? Well, welcome back to Stock Market News, where today we'll be talking about what is going on in the NEO market right now, all the new updates, and everything that you should know about NEO stock. Don't worry, you're at the right place. Without wasting much time, let's get started. NEO stock dropped because of concerns that the SEC may delist it. After posting gains in May, the shares of the Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer fell by more than 15% in May. NEO Inc. is still in its early high-risk stages, which adds even more confusion to the situation. Update. On Thursday, shares of NEO Company fell by 15.17%, reaching a price that was the lowest it has been in the past 2 months at $14.87, before stabilizing above the $15 level. After the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, expanded its regulatory crackdown on U.S.-listed Chinese businesses for not providing audit reports, the Chinese manufacturer of electric vehicles saw a precipitous decline in their share price. In addition, the Bank of England's warning about an impending recession rattled markets and prompted a large sell-off on global indexes. Wall Street was not spared, as the tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite Index lost around 5% over the day. As the action-packed week comes to a close, everyone's attention is focused on the data for U.S. non-farm payrolls in search of new trade chances. NEO stock continues to struggle following the opening of Wall Street, as investors fear that the Chinese manufacturer of electric vehicles may be delisted from the stock market in the United States by the SEC. At the time of this update, NEO shares are down almost 10%, having run into resistance after Wednesday's Fed-induced relief rally by hitting and being unable to rally past the 20-day simple moving average. This occurred after NEO shares hit the 20-day simple moving average. NEO Inc. has been experiencing a long-term downward trend ever since it reached an all-time high in January 2021, and the political concerns at the highest level between the United States and China have only served to exacerbate the situation. After falling below $17, the stock will find its first level of support at $13, which was its lowest point since the beginning of the year. As a result of the SEC adding NEO shares to the list of companies it intends to delist, the stock price of NEO is once again under pressure. The phrase delisting list is difficult to say, and it is, without a doubt, placing investors in a stick or twist scenario at exactly the time when expectations for a possible détente between Chinese and U.S. securities authorities had been increasing. This most recent incident just adds further complexity to the Chinese ADR market, which will almost certainly cause U.S. investors to make another hasty withdrawal from their positions. This gloom has persisted ever since Ant Group withdrew its initial public offering, or IPO, then followed the fiasco with DIDI, and now there is a possibility that numerous Chinese stocks may be delisted. Stock update. NEO is battling to avoid being delisted in the U.S. As part of the company's announcement that it intends to maintain its dual listings in New York and Hong Kong, NEO is committed to continuing to collaborate with the regulatory authorities in both China and the United States. The statement made by the Chinese manufacturer of electric vehicles goes as follows. NEO is aware that the company was provisionally designated by the SEC following the HFCAA on May 4, 2022, at around Eastern Time in the United States. The company is aware that this identification may be produced as a result of its submission of the annual report on Form 20F for the fiscal year that concluded on December 31, 2021. NEO has been making strenuous efforts to investigate a variety of potential solutions to safeguard the interests of its stakeholders. The secondary listing of the company's Class A ordinary shares was completed on the main board of the Hong Kong Stock Exchange on March 10, 2022. And they are now trading under the stock code 9866. The ADSs issued on the NYSE and the Class A ordinary shares listed on the HKEX are completely interchangeable with one another. NEO will continue to comply with laws and regulations that are applicable in both China and the United States, and it will work hard to retain its listing status on both the NYSE and the HKEX under the listing rules that apply to each exchange. In our opinion, this does not exactly inspire confidence. NEO Inc. has stated that it has been looking into several options, including a listing in Hong Kong. That is fine, but the answer does not aid investors in the United States. NIO has said that it will make efforts to keep its stock listed on the NYSE, but the company has not provided any specific details on how it intends to do so. An unspoken acknowledgement, maybe, that it does not have any control over the situation as it exists. This involves a higher level of discussion and will ultimately result in a political decision between the United States and China. Once again, there is nothing to reassure U.S. investors. Prediction for the NIO stock market. Hold off investing until the U.S.-China crisis has been resolved. According to our point of view, the only option here is to leave and remain on the perimeter. If the problem is fixed, then the stock price of NIO should improve, and investors will have plenty of opportunities to re-enter the market and acquire NIO shares at prices that are likely to be lower. However, this might take a while. This decision is going to take some time because of the political upheaval that is occurring all around the world, and China's efforts to find a middle ground between Russia and the United States. Pinduoduo, JD.com, Xpeng, and a few more well-known names in the retail industry were among the 88 companies that were listed on the most recent version of the SEC list. You may anticipate those stocks to close with losses. The price of a share of NIO stock finished the trading day on Thursday at $15.40, reflecting a significant decrease of 15.06%. After surging in the wake of the Fed's decision, Wall Street saw a precipitous decline just as the Bank of England reignited concerns about stagflation. Investors went into a panic selling mode when the Central Bank of the UK issued a warning that the country may enter a recession before the end of the year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished the day with a loss of 1,060 points, while the S&P 500 had a decline of 4.34%. The poorest performing index was the Nasdaq Composite, which fell by around 5%. The market fell drastically for no apparent cause as rates on U.S. government bonds reached new highs not seen in the last 4 years. There's a good chance that the gloomy atmosphere on the market will continue throughout the Asian session and up to the publication of the U.S. non-farm payroll data. NIO stock tumbles on Thursday as SEC may delist it. The Chinese EV car maker shares dropped over 15% on Thursday after gaining on Wednesday. NIO is at a high-risk early stage, and this adds further uncertainty. Is it possible for a delisted stock to be relisted? After being delisted from a large market like the Nasdaq, several firms have successfully returned to compliance and been relisted on the exchange. A corporation must continue to satisfy all the conditions that it was required to satisfy to be listed in the first place to be eligible for relisting. And that concludes today's video. Hey, please remember that this channel is not intended to provide financial advice, and we do not advise you to invest in any particular company or stock. This is the approach for bringing instructional content to you and your front door. With that in mind, we urge that you perform considerable research on all the issues before you purchase anything. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. For the most up-to-date information, please like this video, and if you would like, we would appreciate it if you would share it with all your friends and family. Make sure you also subscribe to our channel by clicking that bell icon, and you will always stay up to date with the most up-to-date information as we post new updates to our channel all the time. Hey, we'll thank you so much for spending time of your day to watch a video with us, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you shortly in the next video. Thanks for watching, and happy investing.